Hello, everybody. In the middle of the stirring victory by the Warriors over the Knicks, there was an interesting mic'd up moment.
Just on the pin-ins and stuff, don't be afraid to throw it to Moses.
Okay,
too. You know, that doesn't have to be all Steph.
Okay.
If he's open, he'll knock it down.
Okay,
Good
my
job.
fault.
Good job.
So what are these pin-ins Steve Kerr is talking about, and what play is everyone so exercised about? Here's an example of what Steve Kerr means by a pin-in. A very common action in the Warriors offense is for a shooter like Steph Curry to run towards the outside of the court and then for someone to hit the trailing defender with a screen. And this screen is called a pin-in screen. Chris Paul does a very nice job getting in Donte DiVincenzo's way. This defender is too slow to realize what's going on. Draymond sees all, and he's already passing the ball before Steph is open. Donte DiVincenzo unfortunately clobbers his own guy, and Steph has an open three. These pin-ins are the foundation of the famous Steph relocation plays. Good contest from the defender, so Steph is going to throw the ball to Draymond and then cut into the middle and then cut back out. Kuminga is getting faster and he recognizes Steph. Steph is exiting, and so he needs to set a pin-in screen on Steph Curry's man. Josh Hart has to go 2 steps farther, so Steph springs free, bang. So it makes sense that Steph Curry would receive many of these pin-in screens, but he's also very generous about screening for other Warriors. This play starts off as a Jonathan Kuminga Steph Curry pick and roll. Steph tries to reject the screen. Unfortunately, JK has rolled right where Steph wants to go. That's all right. This chemistry is going to get better and better going into the future. Steph bails out to Draymond, and it looks like this is going to be a relocation. Moody here seems to be ready for Steph to come out and to set a pin-in screen, but Steph throws his thumb over his shoulder, which is the universal signal for use my screen. So instead of Steph coming out and getting a pin-in screen, Steph wants to set the pin-in screen for Moses. Steph nails Moses' defender. Donte DiVincenzo does not want to leave Steph Curry because no one ever got fired for following Steph Curry. And Moses is going to spring out free. But I think Draymond here was expecting Steph to do a relocation with Moody setting the pin-in screen. So even though Moody is springing free for an open three, Draymond is in the middle of telling Moody, wait, go back and set a pin-in for Steph. So Moody says, all right, that's a cool idea too. DiVincenzo wants to meet Steph on the other side of this screen, so Steph just goes the other way. Draymond is still in the middle of telling Moses to go in and screen for Steph. And then Draymond finds Steph in the corner. Hustle, close out from DiVincenzo, and Steph has to rush this three. Let's see how Steve Kerr over here feels about how this play is unfolded. He's got his hands out in the universal symbol of WTF. At the next timeout, here's Steve Kerr coming to intercept Draymond, and that's exactly when the audio assist starts.
Just on the pin-ins and stuff, don't be afraid to throw it to Moses.
Okay.
Too.
Hey, Mo, my fault on that one. I got to hit you right there.
Way to bet.
Next time you come off, I got you. That's my fault. Be ready to shoot. I'm sorry.
Okay, so if you're like me, you're dying to know if Draymond actually passed it to Moody on the next pin-in. So we don't find out the answer until 3 plays after that mic'd up timeout. But I'm going to go through all 3 plays because I want to emphasize the point that Steph Curry is the best screener in the NBA. If you count his gravity, how often he screens, how important it is to his team's offense, and how solid his screens are, I think there's no contest. First play out of the timeout. This is a set play. Sadly, it's not for Moody. Steph is going to step up and set this back screen for Gary Payton II, who will hope to get a lob for a dunk. Achiuwa is going to get physically hung up on the screen. DiVincenzo is going to get emotionally hung up on the screen because he does not want to leave Steph for love or money. So GP2 will spring free. The play cleverly has everyone else clearing to the other side. Unfortunately, Brunson sniffs this out and he peels back, just enough to mess up this alley-oop lob. GP2 makes a great catch just to save the play, and then he throws this off-balance pass to the open clay, which gets deflected. This play looks like a disaster. There's plenty of time to reset, or you could fire up a 30-foot heat check from the far hash mark. The next offensive play is a bit of a scramble. Steph turn and look at Klay Thompson and point at him saying, come and take my screen. Klay's going to pop out open. DiVincenzo definitely doesn't want to leave Steph. Achiuwa ends up sort of enthralled by Steph, saying, look at Steph Curry, man, so inspirational. Draymond realizes that nobody's guarding him, so he just drives right up the middle for the layup. Draymond starts off with the left hand, but he does kind of switch it to the right hand in midair in a kind of homeopathic levels of Michael Jordan. And Steph does appreciate, he's going to mime, that Draymond switched from one hand to the other. Okay, how about let's make it 3 plays in a row based on Steph's screening. Draymond tells Moody to go left side. Moody gets the ball back to Draymond, and then Draymond's going to wave Moody over to go tangle with Steph. Usually this play is going to look like a pin down screen where Steph is going to swoop up, and that means DiVincenzo is psychologically preparing to chase Steph, and Achiuwa is preparing to pop out in case Steph Curry gets open. So that's why Steph is being tricky when he decides, I'm not going to swoop up after all. I'm just going to set a screen on my own man here and let Moses flare out instead. So Moody flares out open. Notice how Steph has changed the angle of his screen so that he not only nails DiVincenzo, but he's also pool shotting him into his own man, Achiuwa. Bong bong, he gets 2 for the price of 1. With more practice, Moody will flare right to the spot, but he has to adjust his positioning a little bit, and that's going to throw off his shot. But anyway, Draymond kept his promise. I can't resist talking about one last play. Steph Curry, the best screener in the NBA. I think part of it is defenders are so used to top blocking Steph and grabbing him so he can't come out to the three-point line. So when Steph starts screening them, they start to feel like, wait, this is good because I'm grabbing Steph Curry and I'm stopping him from shooting a 3. And so Steph can maneuver them. So here, Steph actually adjusts his screen a couple feet over to get the best angle so that Steph can screen his own man and also pool shot him into Hartenstein. Steph getting 2 for the price of 1. Draymond is going to saunter in for an easy layup. Let's wrap up with a celebration audit. Here's Steph setting his pinball screen, letting Draymond go in for the easy layup. Here he goes. Signals that this basket is going to count. Draymond has not even gotten there yet. Steph is clicking the boxes for premature celebration and look away. This is true innovation, folks. Let's see, how pure is the look away? Oh, I think Steph just peeked just a little bit to make sure Draymond was free. But you know, this is going to be like 99% pure look away. And the innovation and subtlety of this is top notch. Who does look away celebrations of a screen assist? Well, now Steph Curry does. Let's see how the bench does on this celebration. Draymond goes in with the smooth right-handed scoop, and first off the bench, Trayce Jackson-Davis showing the right-hand scoop signal. Jerome Robinson also coming up big. I'd say this is a tie. Santos is trying to catch up. He got a late start to the scoop, but he is holding the scoop. When Draymond finally turns around, Santos is going to get the sole credit for having the right-handed scoop signal up. You know, this might seem unfair, but celebrations can be a dirty business. So sorry, Jerome. Sorry, Trayce. You will not get credit for... Oh, but hang on. Last second. Can Trayce pull up the secondary right-hand scoop? Yes. Now that's the reflexes of a 4-year college player. That is the savvy and composure which led the Warriors to draft you, Trayce. Great job.